It's our 3-month anniversary. Let's see where we're at. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Spooky's Revenge, and we have another episode of our $500 5-year small account series, and it's Thursday. That's also our 3-month anniversary. We started in the middle of September. Now we're in the middle of December. So I just kind of want to look back and take an inventory and see where we're at. So let me get my face out of the way. So here's the overall account screen, which is something that not many people tend to show when they do these account challenges. They usually focus on like 1 or 2 big runs, and then that's it. So let me get my whole face out of the way so we can see the whole screen. Okay, so again, yeah, just a lot of these YouTube gurus, they don't really show the overall P&L because it's usually not that impressive. A lot of these guys just, they show you profit porn and then they hope you like it enough to buy their product. So I'm not selling a product on this episode, so I don't care. I don't have any reason to deceive you because it doesn't help. But what I do want to show you is the overall account P&L as well as the stock and option trading P&L to demonstrate that, as you can see here, the account value here is at 2070. There's been about, I initially said there was about $1,800 in the Discord worth of investments here, and that's resulted in, X percentage of returns. But then I kind of went back through my stuff and I recognized that there was actually a couple extra contributions in the place, but the concept still remained the same. I'm making more money than I'm losing. So I just, the account's at 2070 right now. The open P&L, so this column right here for the positions I'm currently holding, is at a net positive $44.35. That means that if I sold all these, the open P&L would turn to 0, and I would lock these profits in as cash and then lose my dividends going forward. So I don't want to do that. I will always have some sort of open P&L on a dividend portfolio because I need those positions to be open. Obviously, that would be much higher if Tesla wasn't down 5.4%, and then HGHT wasn't down about 4% in SFE. So these two are speculative. They're on very small amounts, but Tesla is a very large position. It's about 1/6 of the account, so it's a little less than that. So I'm not worried about it, but it is ultimately affecting the open P&L. So if you see that number, it should be higher, but it's okay, right? Because we're in it for the dividends and the share P&L, so I'm not too worried about Tesla falling down a little bit. It is a synthetic covered call ETF, so I'm not too worried about it. But we also have, MBI is up 33%. I did take a leap yesterday. It's my first kind of long-term option play on this portfolio. It's currently just sitting at about $10 up. So this is a 2025 contract. It's on NEO. It's got a very good setup. And then we've got our longer term positions here. We've got O, Schwab, JP Morgan, and then down here we've got Johnson & Johnson. We've got Clip as another high risk ETF, high yield ETF. And that's about it. The rest of these are pretty quote unquote speculative. They're not speculation trades, but speculation is a part of it, but I don't have to look at charts. So basically what I'm trying to say here, $2,070, about $1,800 of that was contributed plus a little bit extra for other like odds and ends. I've realized a total of $95.57 in losses on the stock side and $1,151 in the option P&L, which means I get to combine these together and then claim them on my taxes. 100% of this dollar amount I get back towards my taxes. So that's good for me. It's a win-win. I don't really care. So you can see not only have I lost on the speculative side, but I'm still up positive due to the power of investments, reinvesting the dividends, and just letting the compounding passive income grow as I, roll these dividends multiple times to collect profit multipliers. I now have a speculative option trade in the mix, so that'll obviously adjust the number a little bit, but I expect that to go up, so I'm not too worried about it. And it's just a matter of just following a system. So you can see I got my butt whooped a little bit on the stock side and option side on the speculation stuff. However, I'm still net positive. So that takes all the pressure off of having to succeed trying to day trade, trying to swing trade, trying to figure out which ones are going to go up and which ones are going to go down, and all the complicated stuff, right? I'm not looking at charts for this stuff. I can if I want to. Like for NEO, I definitely did. But for MBI, it's a special dividend of a given amount. I understand where the plus and minus is on that, so I know that I can guarantee myself a net profit if I buy X number of shares and it goes to this specific price or the dividend hits. It's just a very if-then logic flow. It's not about trying to guess right and making things go up after I buy them, because that does not work long term. Okay. IRMD, it's another one, just having a little resistance breakout here. Now, this is something, if I wanted to speculatively trade, I could, but ultimately I'm interested in this ex-div date right here on December 21st, right? Because that's what's going to tell me, where do I put my stop loss? Do I put it up here by this amount, the dividend amount above my break even, which it's already above that, but I bought it on unsettled funds, so I have to wait. Or if it's after the ex-div date, am I going to move that down near my break even and then break even on the share P&L and receive the dividend payout, which will get me a net profit? Okay. Then there's other tickers like LEG, KIM, U. Let's see, what's another one? MBI I've rolled a couple times already on the way up. Ladder's just a good long-term growth position, but those are ones that I can lock in profits repeatedly on and not just get 50 cents in a dividend. I can get, $5 out of that dividend potentially without having to focus on charts all day. Okay, I buy them. I set a sell order above the break even based on the dividend payout amount before the ex-div date. If the ex-div date hits, I simply adjust my break even, or I'm sorry, I adjust my stop loss down to above my break even so I don't lose money on the shares. And then I collect the dividend payout, and it's just a profit, 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 profit. If it hits that payout early, I can collect it, re-enter, do the same exact thing multiple times, and it's just working a system. I don't have to know if a stock is going to go up. I don't have to know if it's going to go down. If it goes down, I can recover it. It's okay. And if it goes down to the point where I can't recover it, I can realize that small loss and claim it on my taxes, get 100% of those dollars back, put them right back into my portfolio at tax time, and do it again until they become winners. So it's a very closed system, and it's solid logically, okay? And that takes the stress out of the mix, and that takes all the pressure and the anxiety and the FOMO, and just there's no pressure to try to succeed with day trades. If I want to, and I can focus, which I can't currently at the moment, so I'm not, and that's why you're not seeing success on that, then that's a profit multiplier just like this stuff is, but I can't really focus on that, so I can't rely on it sustainably. Therefore, I'm taking little pot shots at it. Like I took my SPX $500 loss, and I took a SPY $500 loss for the taxes. That's where the bulk of that $1,000 option negative P&L came in. But that's, again, I'm using that intentionally at the end of the year for my taxes, so I don't really care. I also have dividends just rolling in consistently. You can see I got 3 for the 13th, 2 for the 15th, 1 for the 21st, 1 for the 22nd. They may be small, but the fact that I've multiplied most of these several times makes it okay, right? They get much bigger if you do that over and over and over again. So it might only show, $17.33 here, but that's in conjunction with the rest of the profits that I've rolled on them already. So I don't have to worry too much about that. And yeah, that's kind of the purpose of this episode right here is I just want to take a little look back over the 3-month period. This portfolio should be higher, but, the market is a market, and I haven't really focused on it. And the goal for this account is not to speculatively trade. It's not to take high-risk options and succeed. If it happens, great. I can repeat that process just like I discussed in the early episodes until I lose. But once I lose, that's it. I'm done. I don't want to exacerbate my losses just for the sake of speculating and taking that money out of potential passive growth. That kind of guarantees me that money anyway. So there's really no need. We've taken $500. We've taken, I think, like 18 or 1900 in contributions total and turned it into 2070. And I've gotten most of the initial dividend payouts out of the way, the ones that offset that initial ex-div adjustment. So now any profits that I collect beyond that first one are net profit. And if I'm still holding the shares, there's also share P&L that I can consider. So the profits are nice, and they only speed up, right? Doing this kind of approach, they only compound, they only speed up. The only thing that's really going to slow me down is me, right? If I just want to keep speculating and I want to keep losing money and all that good stuff, I can. When I can focus, then yeah, I'm going to absolutely knock it out of the park, and I'm going to trade with very tight risks and just let the profits breathe. But for right now, I can't focus. So a lot of times when I try to trade, things just go down to $0 because I trade the high risk, like 0-day contracts and stuff. And that's it. That's all I need to do is just not get in my own way. And that's all I've done lately is just not trade so much. So it might be boring, but this will outperform 90% of the market. So why shouldn't I follow that, right? I can follow 90% of the people that can't figure it out of the market, or I can stay here and do this slow. And there's, we like to say all the time, people are people are more okay losing money fast than they are making it slowly. And in this case, we could do a little bit of both. And it just balances out nicely. So even though I'm getting my butt kicked sometimes on the speculative side because I'm just so busy, I don't have to make that the only way that I can survive here. Instead, I've set myself up with a nice solid foundation that will continue to provide and continue to grow. And then I can take some of that money if I want and be a little bit of a degen and still make an overall profit. Okay? So I think going into the new year, I'm just going to roll the special dividends. I'm not really going to do so much speculation other than what I need to get my tax advantages. And then, yeah, I can publish the Schedule D at the end of the next year, and then we can show the benefits and the overall P&L. Like if you just look at this graph right here, 90% of the market isn't doing this. Okay, they're the other direction. They're going down. So if I can just show you a full year of that, and you're not currently able to do that with your system, you just kind of have to ask yourself, is this working, and why not at least consider another way? And it doesn't have to be for all your money. It's your money, your contributions, your strategies. I would just suggest considering at least putting the bulk of your money into passive income. And again, I can't legally give you financial advice, but I can encourage you to ask yourself questions, and that's one of them. So with that said, I'm going to end this little review here. Just to kind of update the green positions here, Tesla, Clip, JP Morgan, those are higher risk short-term dividend ETFs. And then I've got the longer term stable ones like O, SCHD for Schwab, Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan, I'm sorry, not JP Morgan. Where is it? Anyway, yeah, Ladder. Ladder is going to be a really nice one. If you look at this one on the weekly chart, we're just breaking up. I really, really like this one. But we'll see what happens. Plus it offers a 90-cent dividend. NEO, if we look at NEO really quick, I know some of you guys just like to look at charts for these. Let's go ahead and look on the daily chart here. We got plenty of room to the upside. I got it all bracketed out and I'm ready to roll. It's a leap, so I got plenty of time on this contract. I got over a year. There's plenty of room to move. It's $2.70 to the upside here, and then potentially up to 14 if we can break above that. It's going to be nice, or it's not, and that's okay either way. And that's the cool part, is I don't have to be right all the time. So, all right, I'll end this episode here. I appreciate you all. I'm trying to get these videos as short as I can. So you guys all have a good day and enjoy your weekend. Bye.